And you're live. We're live early. That's funny. There we go. We're live. Hi, guys. There's nobody here yet, so I'm going to go quickly post to the X. I can't even type right now. youtube.com/@makermindnexus. Bam. Posted. It's live. Keggleton Talon, Mr. C Tunes, Ryan Sharp, and Shrimp Daddy. Good to see you guys. Sorry, it took me a minute. I have X in front of my face here so I could post out that I'm live. Got a little antsy, didn't want to wait an hour. You know how that goes, right? Clayton, good to see you, man. Good to see you. Good to see you. How you doing? I told my wife if we could ever muster up the cash to get to the islands that I know somebody out that way that could be our tour guide. And sadly, we'll never be able to afford it. It's a pipe dream, but at least I know if for some reason I ever wind up on the islands, I know somebody from the islands that could be my tour guide. So, as most of you know, I talked about it yesterday on the stream and said that if they showed up, I'd stream this weekend. Well, it is 7 p.m. our time. My wife and daughters are currently curled up to a movie, and I am now out here with you guys till who knows when. So, I got a box. It's somewhere in the office. I'm going to move, and when I move, I want you guys to notice something, all right? After the stream last night, I realized if I was going to do this, I needed to have the ability to do so. I did something after my stream last night. I just want to see if anybody notices. So give me a moment while I lock the camera so it quits moving. Make sure it's zoomed out as far as it can go. And let me move to the side. Good evening, Shane. Good to see you, sir. Hope you're doing well. Did you guys notice anything about my office? Built over bot. Yes, I cleaned. Hey, built over bot. I don't know if you're on X or not, but I got to post it on YouTube so that I know you see it. So quick backstory. This is unit number 2. Unit number 1, yes, I was impatient. I already opened the box, set it up, and did some prints on it. One of the prints that I did was a good old Dapper Dan duck, obviously. I got to do my test print, right? So I did the little Prusa key ring or key tag that they have on there. I did that one first because it's like a 9-minute print. And then, of course, I sliced and printed a Dapper Dan duck. And I posted some pictures on X. And if you get a chance to go there and take a peek, I think it came out damn good. I would have to say that unit number 1 was, the quality so far has been good. I have some Labrax parts printing on the one at the school. I figure over the weekend I'll print the rest of the Labrax parts here and then bring home the parts I print there. And then all I'll need to do is acquire the M6 heat inserts and the M6 nuts to go, or the M6 screws, button head screws to go with it. And then I can build a Labrax kit. So hopefully this weekend I get all the Labrax parts printed, and then we can build a Labrax. Maybe as part of a members only stream, we'll build a Labrax, and I'll put links and stuff, and you guys can check it out. It'll be for members only. But yes, all I saw was a large rubber member. Where is it? Talking about this guy? That's the Dapper Dan duck at 500% that was printed on that guy right there. But yes, Clayton, I do end. I when I cleaned up in here, I took out a bunch of like just unnecessary garbage and like boxes and things that were unnecessary. Got that put like taken out. I put stuff back on shelves where I originally had it. So I got stuff up off the floor. There is still, you know, some empty spools sitting here. Polymaker spools, Creality. This one is CC Tree. I'm not sure who the hell makes CC Tree, but CC Tree. Here's one for the Flash Forge Burnt Titanium. And then Polymaker, 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 Polymaker. And then I have a couple more spools that'll be pretty much wiped out here pretty quick too, so I'll have some more. So if anybody wants to donate to the Dan Needs More Filament Fund, I know that Polymaker sponsors giveaways once a week on the stream, and I'm very appreciative of that. I don't think it would be good for me to ask for stuff for myself directly. So if anybody wants to help me get some printer chow, PayPal, Cash App, Venmo links down there. Become a member. You can become a member if you like what you see. There, I did the YouTuber thing and I did it early in the stream. So now I don't have to do it and we can just get right into this thing. I will do my best. Let me see if the overhead camera over here is going to work tonight. It's going to be a bit more overhead. So I'm going to switch to studio mode so I don't drive you guys nuts. And then in studio mode, I'm going to go to bench cam and it is working. It looks like, let me see. Yep, it is working. Okay, good. I do need to tidy up these wires a bit, like for the AC unit and that. At some point, maybe I'll get smart and like drill a hole in the desk where I can actually like tuck those cables in so they won't be in the frame. But while we're waiting, let me try and frame this up a little better. That thing's not that big, so I shouldn't have to go that high. But there we go. That'll be a little better. You'll see it from above. And then this camera here, I'll try to remember to move it and zoom it so it'll be in closer for you. No sleep, kid. How the hell you been? Cool, a Core 1. Yep. Yes, built over bot. These are the schools. There is no getting around it. I do not have Prusa Core 1 money, but the STEM classes, I got each one of them a Core 1 for the start of the next school year. That just happens to be when they came was over the summer, and there's no STEM class. They're not doing STEM camp this year. So since they're not doing STEM camp this year, they don't have a need for them right now, and they just came in today. So I set one up at work and played around with it a little bit, and I figured they're not going to need it right now, and as long as I don't break it or damage it, I will take it. We'll do an unboxing, set it up, do some prints with it. I'll have it here over the weekend to play with, and then Monday when I go back to work, I'll load it up in the car, take it back to work, put it on the shelf, and everything is good. So yeah, you should have, man. You should have. It's not crazy right now because with it being summer and everything being torn apart, there's not a whole lot going on there. So yeah, but it's a cool space. They've got a couple kids were working on making an arcade. So they were cutting up plywood, using an old monitor and a Raspberry Pi and setting up an old arcade. That was pretty cool. But yeah, we've got some printers in the high school and in the junior high. So it's pretty sweet. Like Core 1 XYs. You got the A1. Nice. Down Under Maker, good to see you. Hope you're doing well. Hope all is well down under. You guys ready for me to start cracking this box open? Probably done with me talking, huh? You guys want to see what's in the box, right? So let me scooch down just a little bit more. I cleaned up my floor finally a little bit, but there we go. Hey, I gotta have printers at school. Yes, gotta have printers at school. So let me crack the box open here. Let me get the box opener out. I don't want YouTube to think this is anything more. just a box opener. Remember, cut away from yourself. Don't cut towards yourself. But we're going to get into the box because I know you guys want to know. Oh, of course, the bag of melted Haribos because it was hot in the delivery vehicle. And yeah, between that and probably the car ride home, they are all melted into one sheet. So I have a sheet. So there you go. Don't crack it. It's freezing cold for there. Yeah. Not bag, just a single one. Exactly. Exactly. It's just a single one. Go ahead and pull this out. There we go. All right. Let me kind of zoom in a little more. Wow. We're going way in. Let's back that out just a little bit. A little bit more. There we go. That'll be better. Then you guys can actually kind of see this stuff. We have the build sheet. So the steel sheet core 1 PEI. So one steel sheet. I didn't get the extras. Our little checklist of things that were done. The instruction book, or the 3D printing handbook, which has setup instructions for this. We have our Core 1 accessory bag that has some grease and some extra plastic push rivets, and of course an alcohol wipe. We have the rubber dampers that we put underneath. Hey Vince, how you doing, good sir? Good to see you. The 3-pin US power cable. The USB flash drive. And then of course, a full spool of, this is the Galaxy Black, a full kilogram of Galaxy Black. And the Galaxy Black, it actually says plus or minus 0.1 for tolerance, guys. Look at that. Plus or minus 0.1 if you want to scan the QR code. There you go. If I could hold it still long enough. But there's that. Now, we got to take this all out here and set it to the side. By the way, Joseph wants to remind you, happy printing. So we take that part out. Now this is the part that gets a little interesting because Prusa has made it easy to get this thing out of here. I'm going to back this up a little bit again. And I'm going to jump up a little higher because you guys don't need to see more of the ground. You want to see more of where I'm going, right? So let's set this here. But the cardboard is a handle. You just fold them up and then you lift and then we go straight onto here. And I'm going to put it bottom side facing you guys here because I'll zoom in here and show you me sticking those on. The up above camera I may not use, but that is it for that. So we can stuff this back down in there. And if anybody's wondering, yes, I am going to take the empty box back to school with me because if there's a problem with this printer and we need to ship it, I need to have the box. So I got to save the box. It's going to get loaded up in my car on Sunday night. So it's ready to go for Monday. Oh, let's see here. Let's push this up, push this down. Not that there's going to be too much up above to show you, but let's jump to the other camera real quick just to see what it looks like. Yeah, it's not going to get up high enough, I don't think. There you go. Well, here's the cardboard that's wrapped around it. Again, you just take these and fold them up like this. Makes a handle. And then it's latched right here. Pull that through. And here's the storage bin side. So that's the recessed storage bin side. I am going to lift up right here. Work this cardboard out from under here. And then kind of lift under here. pull the cardboard out. And then we're going to go back to the other camera because you guys need to see the bottom side. That's where we got to do some work. You know what I mean? So let's jump back to this. And let's go over here. Go like this. Oh, wrong way. Keep forgetting those. I got to get inverted. But there we go. There's that. And let's zoom in and go up. And then this way a little bit more. There we go. Let me see who all's here that I missed. BB3D, good to see you. Nice Core 1. Thank you, BBs. Again, not mine. I do want to clarify over and over and over again. This is for the school that I work at. This is one of the STEM classes. A nice long weekend, so figured I'd bring one home with me. We'll do a setup and all that fun jazz. So that's why it's here. I'm just setting it up, playing around with it, show it to you guys on a stream because I can't very well stream from school. That'd be weird. But figure I'd bring it home and we'd make some content out of it. You guys can check one out if you haven't seen one, or if you want, you know, the idiot with the webcam and a microphone's opinion of the Core 1, you'll get it. Because if number 2 works as well as number 1 did, if you want the Prusa ecosystem and you have Prusa money, buy the Core 1. That's what I'm going to tell you right now. But we'll see how number 2 does. We'll see if the answer is still the same after number 2. Being a great person is all I heard. Well, BBs, thank you very much for saying such kind things. Let me know how much I owe you. I'll hit you up in the PayPals to pay you for the kind words. I noticed something. This lovely picture that my bride got for me of us many years ago is falling apart. And before I get into the Prusa, I gotta fix the Mrs. and I, right? So let me fix this real quick, guys. Bear with me here just a moment whilst I put this back. Yeah, my loving wife got this for me many years ago, and it's always kind of been hiding somewhere in the background of the streams. So there. I fixed it. Yes. Cash only. All right. Well, let's see here. First off, let me lift this up and kind of turn it a little bit for you. Let's get the box of filament out of the way. Here we go. This is the underside. As you can see, you have one Z motor here, one Z motor down here, and then there's another Z motor up in this corner right here. So there is 3. It is a triple Z. So yay for that. And then, of course, we'll have to put the screen on and that. But the first thing we got to do is put the rubber feet on. According to the instructions, you want to put the rubber feet, the rubber vibration dampers, whatever you want to call these. You want to put these on according to the instruction book, which I've already gone through this just a little while ago, so I don't need to open the book right now. But you put these anti-vibration feet on facing front to back on the left and right sides. So they would go one here and one here. Doesn't really say how to put them on so much as just I have ADHD, so I try to line them up as nice as I can. Here I thought it was just an enclosed Mark III. Nope, it is a Core XY, all metal Core XY. There is still printed parts in it. But you take all this off. And then I just kind of eyeball it. But I eyeball it in a way that it looks as level as I can, or as kind of even as I can get it front to back. And then I'll stick one side and then just kind of run the hand across as I go. And there's one on. Now we'll put the other one on. But yeah, no, Ryan, this thing is definitely a beast of a machine. It prints fast. Like I said, I printed a Dapper Dan duck, which you may have never seen. I don't know if I showed you that when you came into the office the other day or not. But Dapper Dan duck was designed by Built Over Bot and his wife. So if you see Built Over Bot in chat, him and his wife are the ones who designed the Dapper Dan duck. Conveniently named after somebody on this stream. because of an idea from someone on this stream. Okay. Same thing as before. Kind of line it up. Try to make it somewhat aesthetically pleasing for a man with ADHD anyway. And then just press it down. There we go. Now I have to pick it up, and then we have to work on getting the screen installed. So let's bring this thing up. I'll probably have to adjust the camera in some way. So let's do that too. I'll pull the camera back a little bit. "3D Innovations, you thought about getting the Core 1 MMU3, but you're about to get the XL5 tool." There you go. Hell yeah. That's always a good thing to do, right? If you can afford the XL, my understanding is it's a good printer. My understanding is it's a good printer. I don't personally know. I've never had one. I know that, like all, first run printers, there were some issues, but my understanding is now a lot of that has been taken care of. Yeah, that is my benchmark, actually, Ryan. That is my, I'll print the little 9-minute key tag that comes on here just for giggles, and then we'll load up and I'll install Prusa Slicer. I think I have Prusa Slicer installed, but if I don't, I'll install Prusa Slicer. We'll use Prusa Slicer's built-in profile, throw a Dapper Dan duck in there, and then we'll slice it and then throw it on here and get it printing after we make sure everything is working on here first. So there we go. What printer are you working on? Red Light. This is the Prusa Core 1. This isn't assembled, so if anybody is wondering, no, it's not a kit. I didn't get the kits. These are for the school, so I just wanted an out-of-the-box, plug it in, turn it on, and I figured I haven't seen anybody really doing assembled. There are a lot of guys are doing kits right now, so I figured I'd bring one home, make a stream of just setting up the already assembled one, so if you were curious of paying the extra money, is it something you want to do? That'll be your choice to make. It's a W printer. Also, please be careful not to scratch the plexiglass. Yes, I left all the protective stuff on it right now. So as I was shifting it around, I left all the protectives on. I won't take any of that off until I got everything done. Then we'll take it off, except for this piece, because we got to get inside and I want to show you guys some stuff. So also, I have a trick for you guys who are like, if you get one of these, to take it off with those plastic rivets. I have a little tip or a trick that I'll show you and I'll share with you. For anybody who's wondering, Prusa says outright, do not clean clear panels with IPA. So do not use IPA to clean your clear panels. Per Prusa, it says it right there. So you now know for sure, Prusa says don't do it. So if you get one, don't use IPA. Okay. We'll take this one off real quick. I can't get you guys a good sound. I'm sorry. I'm trying to stick my head down here with the microphone. Can you hear that? Can you hear that? There we go. Give you a little crinkly sound. But there we go. I will show you guys the trick when we're done. Right now, I want to get the screen on it. Little slide event on the top there. If you're printing PLA or ASA, ABS, you can close that. I'll show you that again in here in a little bit. Mitch! Who trusted you with a Core 1? My employer. Yeah, no, Mitch, I got these. This is the, I remember talking to you about this a little bit ago. But yeah, these are the ones I got from Printed Solid, someone's employer. So, by the way, Mitch, I've been telling all of you guys that maybe work with Sean in the sales department. If you see him, please let him know that I am very thankful that he stepped in and was able to fix the the issue that my order had within a system. So yeah, Sean stepped up and helped me out greatly, because apparently there was a lack of communication prior to Sean stepping in. So thank you, Sean, greatly for fixing the problem in what I consider a fair and reasonable amount of time. So even with issues, Printed Solid will still take care of you. But understand, things happen. So don't always be a dick to people. I can say that. Zybertech, what's going on, man? Good to see you. We're definitely overwhelmed with Core 1s. So in due time. Yes, the Core 1s are very nice. Oh, yes, and also Jesse Filament. Yeah, speaking of, Mitch, I'm not trying to put you on the spot, but if you get a chance, make a pallet of Jesse Filament disappear to my front door. Or better yet, to the school that I work at. Make a pallet just show up randomly at the school I work at for the STEM classes. I would greatly appreciate that, because they are getting very low on filament. And with things going one way or the other, it's getting very hard for me right now. The new superintendent doesn't start for another couple of days. I don't know what kind of vibes I'm going to get. Doing giveaway tomorrow to raise money for the Trevor project. Yes, I did see that. I did see he unlocked some goals. I was watching last night for a little while, and I will definitely try like all hell to be there tomorrow to support all things 3D printing and people staying with us. So, trying to manifest new roles. Yes, Ryan, it is a hard thing to do, trust me. But let's get the door open here. The door, by the way, guys, listen, hear that? That's not glass, that's plexi. So no Uncle Jesse moments here. So yes. All right, let's pop the cardboard, and then we pull one side out, and then I usually will shift this a little bit, because it does tend to ride into the cardboard a little bit. I've noticed it seems to ride into the cardboard a little bit more on this side, and I think it's because this is the side that's facing down in the box. So it kind of pushes into it. So slide the tool head over just a little bit, and then you can pop this out easier. So there is number 2 out. Take these and, again, throw them in the kit, or throw them with the box so they can go back to work along with the printer, of course. But there is this part now done. There's 2 things left to do, and we can throw power at it. The first one is, I did this first. It doesn't say to do this part first, but I'm just going to stick the build plate on it, because as I'm doing anything else, I just want to make sure the heat bed is protected against it. These are usually cheaper than a build plate or a heat bed. Slide it in there and drop it down, straighten it out, and there we go. The other thing to do, guys, and I didn't show you this yet, is there's a magic box that hides with the printer. Right there. And the crazy part is, more orange filament. So obviously I know my unit was tested, and they did use the Prusa orange, so we'll have to unload it before we can do all the configs. But this box, just so anybody knows, there's really only one way to get this box off of here, and that is pull. Okay? Hole in the box. Just pull. Legend has it that Uncle Jesse is still picking up glass. I don't think that's so much legend as fact. But when we open this up, in this box is the rest of the tools and the screen. So take the screen out. We will need an Allen wrench out of here, but I'll get to that point when I get to that point. First, let's plug this thing in. I don't know how well that camera up there is going to work to show you guys this part. This part might be just do your best if you got to, when it comes to putting this part on, if you get one of these, either assembled or kit. But I'm going to turn this way. Make sure it stays up on the table. And before I switch the camera again, I'm actually going to pull this thing down off of here so I can try and get in nice and close. so you guys will be able to kind of see. Let me open the door first. You got to open the door because you do have to take the one panel off. So let's put this like this, just like this. I'm going to jump to that camera, so don't get seasick. Bench. There we go. Oh, that's pretty good. Pretty good. That should work pretty well. Yeah, that'll probably work pretty good. Now, this part, guys, you actually have to take this piece right here off. In order to do this part, you can you got to open the door and then you kind of lift. And then once it starts to come up, you can get behind it and take this piece off so you can get more slack to hook up the ground and the cable for the screen. So let me get the screen out here, show you guys the back side of the screen. Mad tutorials from Plain Crazy. What is going on? Do you own any Creality 3D printers? Yes, I have owned Creality 3D printers. Currently, I do not have a 3D printer, or Creality 3D printer. My current collection is a Switchwire, Pandora's Box, FL Sun or Full Sun, T1 Pro, a Magneto X from Pio Poly, a Lulzbot Mini, an ANET A8, Mitch 3D in chat, his old King Rune KP3S, and there's a BQBX on the floor, and a CME CNC Rostock Max V3. And I know if Mitch is still here and he heard that, he's probably going, when the hell did you get that? I don't necessarily outright own that one. It's kind of a collaborative thing right now between me and damn it. Yes. Yes. Yeah. I picked it up at Murph from a friend. Havoc. There we go. From Havoc. Oh, I was drawing a blank. LTX, good to see you. Hope you're doing well. You have a Creality Ender 3 V3 SE. You know, good Creality printer for, you know, getting yourself off the ground and understanding the 3D printers. That's the one thing about the Creality stuff. You'll definitely learn how to use your 3D printer with them. So here we go, though. I hope the wind from the AC unit is not too much. I realize it's blowing right in my face. All right, gang. The thing you got to remember is these two screws right here will go this way so that the screen faces up at you. Pretty easy to figure out when you realize it says reset right there. And then they've got the lovely little pattern right here on the side. So it'll go this way into that metal bracket that we just took out that has magnets in it. And then it will go just like this. And the reason I said you'll need the wrenches is because you'll want to tighten the screws just tight enough that the screen will fit, but won't wiggle a lot. And this one will need to be loosened a little bit. The other one's pretty much right. So you might be able to get away with using your fingers to loosen it because it's not really pressed into anything. But I would recommend before connecting it, try to adjust the screws first against it while it's out so that you know you're good to go when it comes time to put it back together. So I think I got it this time. Let's see. Yep. There we go. See, it doesn't have any wiggle. It's fitting tightly to it. So I would do this part first, just to make sure you got them about where you need them. Then take the metal piece, put it out of the way. The fun part is when you hook up the screen and the ground cable, the screen has on the cable, there's a little tab right here. I don't know if you guys will be able to see that. I'm trying to hold it in a way that you guys can see the little, there we go. See this little tab on my hand there? Little tab is because the plug is keyed. And the way it's keyed is, I've noticed the ribbon actually runs up this smooth surface right here. The angle that's on there, the ribbon runs up that. So you take the, you know, cutoff end, goes towards the ground, and then the actual part where the cable comes out of the plug and goes up that ramp right here. This ramp right here. So when you're plugging it in, you just kind of get it lined up, and I'm gonna stand up now so I can actually get in here, because this is the part I was telling you, it's a little awkward, but you get it lined up, get that in there, and then hopefully you get it lined up right and it just pushes right in. But if not, you fight it like I had to earlier, and I'm probably gonna have to again. Come on. That is the one issue I have, is this plug. I understand why they're using it, but it is a bit awkward. And there we go. All right. You will feel it click gently under your fingers as long as you don't try to destroy the screen. And then, of course, ground cable, slip it over and push it down. Same thing, push it down until you feel it kind of lock into place. And now that you have that, this metal piece has this notch cut out in it. I'll come back to chat here in a second, but I want to get this on. But it's got this notch in it so that it'll slide over the cables. What you want to do is get under the door. Let me see if I can back this out a little bit more so you guys can kind of see a little bit better. There we go. Try to keep my hands out of the way. But you're going to go under the door and in, and then on the other side here, just press it up against it, slide it down, and as you slide, shift it into place and make sure you clear your cables. Just press it down, and it's magnetic, so it just sticks on there. And then the only part that's left, get over the top here. There we go. Now you push your cables back in a little bit as you go so you don't take anything loose, and then set the 2 screws in the hole, push it down, give it a wiggle, nice and tight. Done. Screen is on. Jump back here. How you doing? There we go. All right, let me get caught up here real quick. So, hey, Ryan Sharp. We don't say his name, LOL. The legend states if you say his name 3 times in the mirror, your printer door shatters one by one. Nice, LTX. Rob ENC, good to see you, man. How you doing? Big Bad Joe, what do you know? Good to see you, man. Glad you guys are here. All right, this camera I'm kind of done with at the moment. I might try to bring it back later, but for right now, just so it's out of my way, I'm gonna stick it back up here on the wall and stick this cable back out of the way so it doesn't dangle. And then I'm gonna leave this kind of like this. Actually, I take that back. I'm gonna bring it back, because I want to put the camera on the screen so you guys can watch, or maybe I'll try zooming that one in. We'll see. Give me just a minute here. Clayton looking awesome, or looking awesome. Thank you, sir. Thank you. I'm going to move this up just a little bit because I want to see if I can get this network cable around, because I don't necessarily want to connect it to my Wi-Fi's if I don't have to. You guys know how that goes, right? The Wi-Fi's. But I got the network cable. I'm plugging it into the network. You can connect to Wi-Fi if you choose. I'm plugging it in hardwire. I always like hardline over Wi-Fi. Less issue with interference and things like that. And then, of course, in the back here, you've got your power cable, your standard 3-pin power plug. You just plug in your power cable. And then, let me see, before I flip the switch and turn this on for the first time, let's move some of this stuff up out of the way here. Take all of these things, including the power cord, put it in there. The only thing we're going to keep out is the USB for right now. Take all of this stuff, put it back here. There we go. All right. Pull this out. Let's take a look and see when I zoom how it looks. So let's go ahead and go back this way a little bit more. Put that right in the middle. Zoom in. Come down. And can I zoom in again? Oh, I can. Can I go in more? Nope, that's it. What do you guys think? Would that be good? Or you guys want me to switch to the other camera and put it right over the screen? I can do that too. Let's move this back down after all. We'll pull the other camera in. The joys of not having like a a full setup where I've got like mounted cameras and different angles and stuff, you know. We'll put that right there in your way, and then let's zoom this all the way back out now so you can see my face. There we go. Go back here. Go back here. There we go. Move you guys up right about there. That way you can see the screen. So I guess before I get started, you know, powering this thing up and showing you guys the setup process, it's Zoom, LOL. Yes, Zoom. I guess my question to you guys is, do you guys like my streams? Do you guys enjoy coming here and hanging out with, you know, an old man idiot webcam having, microphone having, just Joe Schmo from corn-fed nowhere who says what he thinks what he says, and, you know, good or bad, I am who I am? You guys enjoying yourselves, having fun? Us old men got to support each other. Well, thank you, GTR Dad. And Zybertech, thank you. If you guys could do me a favor, if you haven't smashed the like button, smash the like button. I'm going to take a quick pause, build some suspense, and drive you guys nuts before we start printing. We're 43 minutes in, so bear that in mind. At 43 minutes into the stream, 43 minutes. I talked for like 10, 15 minutes. So in half hour's time, you can have this thing, if you get the assembled, out of the box set up, and with me talking and goofing around, that drug it out. So in about 30 minutes or less, you can have this thing out and be done with the setup process and be printing. So again, another reason why, if you have the few extra, you know, shekels laying around, spend them and get yourself an assembled if that's what you want to do. But if you want the joy of building it and having it and knowing that you took the box of parts and made it a printer, save the money, build the printer. I'm not going to tell you how to spend your money. I'm just going to tell you the reasons why, one way or the other. I mean, either you want to just open the box and go, or you want to have some fun. Shrimp Daddy. Hey, Happy. What's going on, man? Good to see you, Happy. Everybody say hi to Happy. Happy's awesome. Happy made me panels for the Pandora's box. So Happy made me panels, and we got to put the door and the panels back on it. Want to have some fun? Yes. Wisp. All right, let's go ahead and power this thing up. I think I've taunted you guys enough. Let's power it up. Let me come around the back side here. Click the switch. There we go. By the way, there is a firmware update. I will need to do these, or to do to this. I had to do to the other one. I didn't have to do, but why not do the firmware updates? So there's a firmware update. We'll go download it, because you can see it's on 6.3.0, and 6.3.3 is the current. Let me fix the focus. There we go. Now you guys can read it. Hey, by the way, look what's enabled by default right out the box. Boom, English. Whoops. There we go. Look, hi, this is your Prusa Core 1 printer. I would like to guide you through the setup process. Okay, Joseph, let's go. Printer type says Core 1. Tool head, we don't have to change it. It's the stock tool head, but if you were changing out the nozzle right out the gate or something like that, you would click on tool head. Let's go in there just to show you. Nozzle diameter, it's the 0.4 nozzle. If you have a hardened nozzle, tick the box. If you have the high flow nozzle, flip it over. I'm assuming by default it has the high flow because it's already on. And then it does say silicone sock, which is on there. So we do have a silicone sock on this one. There we go. And so that is on. And then it does say Nextruder stock, which is what it is. So hit return, and then we click done. Look, successfully connected to Ethernet. You can now fully use all network features of this printer. There we go. Set up Prusa Connect. No, we are going to skip that one. Run self-test and calibrate now. Yes, please. Before we continue, make sure that the printer sheet is installed on the heat bed, which it is right here. You guys can see in the little camera, I'm pointing to it, and you remember me putting it on there because, like I said, extra protection, cheaper to replace the sheet than it is to replace the heat bed. So we put it on just to be safe. And we hit continue. All the fans are running away. It is saying testing fan rotation on 100% power. Please wait. It has gotten very loud, and I don't know. Oh, it just kicked down, so you guys aren't going to hear it now. But I thought maybe I could get it in there real quick, and you guys could hear the fans. I don't know if you did while I was talking, heard all that blowing in the background. But now testing fan rotation at 40%. And there we go. All the fans kicked on, all the self-test is done. Close the door to prevent air drafts, burns, or other undesirable effects. All right, so let me pull you guys back for a moment. Close the door. And then move you guys in. We do access testing. There we go. You guys want to see it doing the access testing? Let's see, can you see it? Look at that. Just sitting there banging itself off the wall for a minute. It's doing the X and Y, and then it's doing a kind of a diagonal, maxing itself out on the diagonal. But, yep. It's just running itself into the wall, and it does this for a little while, making sure that Y gets the right place, and then it comes back and homes. Let's see if I go down under this a little bit, if it'll be easier for you guys to see. There we go. There we go. We should have did that to begin with. See? Oh, what do we got here? Oh, now it's time for load cell tests. So now we got to open the door again. So let me pull this back. Open door. And then now to continue with the load cell test, we have to touch the load cell. But don't worry, we won't get burned. However, I'm going to pull that little booger off of there and hit continue on the screen. Wait for the beep. Hear the beep, touch the load cell test okay, passed okay. And now we're on to close the door to prevent the drafts. So we close the door again, come back here. Now it's going to test Z. Z is going to come up pretty quick. It's moving pretty fast. It'll come up and tap the load cell. It wants to make sure the load cell works before it tries to home Z. That's a pretty smart thing to do, huh? There it goes. It touched the filament that's still kind of hard in the tip there. So there is still a little bit of hard plastic on the end of that. But it did test. It is going back down. What is the best non-bamboo ready-made large format printer for sub 1K? Large format. What do you mean large format? So like bamboo size 256? I would say probably the Elegoo Centauri Carbon for $299 or $329 if you buy it at Fabrico, which is US. Currently, they are showing out of stock on their side. They are waiting for some issues to be resolved with government stuff. Maker Viking, what's up, brother? Good to see you. How's my Norwegian brother from another mother? Hopefully you're doing well. Good, sir. You want a 350 plus? Ooh, guys, help him out. What's a good, like, that's the problem. Any more 350? That's going to be hard. You're going to have to build, and you're going to pay more than $1,000 in most cases. If you're looking for enclosed, if you're looking for non-enclosed, you could probably get away with, what is it? The Elegoo. What's the other Elegoos that they're selling right now? The Neptune? Yeah, the Neptune series. But again, they're a kit. So or they're a semi-kit. So there will be some assembly required. SV08. Yeah, you can get an SV08. There you go. Yep. There's one. The Soval SV08. Yeah, you got the SV08. Then you can get a panel kit or an enclosure kit for it. So you can always go that route. I think that's around the, what, $899 or $999. So right around the $1,000 mark. So Can always go that route. Yes. So now we're just waiting for the heaters to test out. Let me hit the button again since I moved it. Let's make sure it focuses the best it can be for what it is. There we go. Gearbox calibration necessary for user assembly or service gears. All other cases, you can skip this step. We did not build this, so I am not going to worry about testing that. If we were building this printer from scratch, I would test it. But since we are not, and I did not, let's turn the exposure down first a little bit here on the screen. There we go. Or on the camera. There we go. You can't see it, but it says skip right here. So we're going to hit skip. There we go. We need to start without the filament in the extruder. Please make sure there is no, or yeah, there is no filament in the filament sensor. There currently is. So we're going to hit the middle button, which is unload. It is PLA. So we're going to hit that. It's going to heat up, and then it's going to throw that little piece of orange PLA that was sticking out the side there that they used for testing purposes. Yeah. Ender 5 Max. Yeah. All you can find is, or that is the Ender 5 Max. Yeah, you can get the SVO8. The SVO8 is 350, 353 something. And it's from Sovol. So you can check that one out. All right, let's get this thing unloading. And then let's see. I don't have a lot of we're just going to crack open, I think. We're going to crack open the PLA that came with it. We're going to use the Prusa Galaxy Black that came with it, because I'm that guy. I'm going to do it. I'm going to do it. It's all right. It's going back to the school with the little bit I used. It'll be okay. 345. Okay, so 345. Rip that off of there. And see if we can get this package opened. You know what? I tried to be nice and use the little tear tab, and it didn't work. So stabby, 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 stabby. She tried to do it right, and it doesn't want to cooperate. So stabby, stabby. Pull out the Galaxy Black. Drop the desiccant pack. So we'll throw all that in the box. And there we go. Is the filament in the sensor? So let's pull this out real quick. Nice little piece of orange. The old Prusa orange. Throw this away. Because, yeah, might as well. And then we'll grab our roll of filament here. Find the end of it. Pop this off and get it ready. Is filament in the filament sensor? No, it's not. So let's hit no on the screen. Now it says it's processing because we took the filament out. There we go. Insert filament into the extruder until the sensor detects the filament. All right. So let's get this in here. It's kind of a pain, so I'm going to turn this a little bit, guys. The way I have my desk set up anyway, it's a pain. Put that over. Dadgummit. Where did it go? I let go of the end of the filament, so now I got to take it back off. Find the end of the filament, pinch it to the side, knock you guys over. There we go. Sorry about that, gang. Put that there. Roll this back a little bit. Find the PTFE tube on the side here. Gosh darn it. I just dropped it again, guys. I am batting 1,000. Not being able to see it is not helping me. All right. Get that on there again. Twist it back a bunch. There we go. Hopefully, there it is, in the tube. All right. Now we just push the filament up until it hits the sensor. It's getting close. It's getting close. Uh-oh. Hold on. I got to wrap the filament here a little bit. It jumped off on me again. There we go. Push it in. And then once the filament gets there, you'll see the screen will change. There we go. Filament is, see, filament inserted. Press continue. Press continue. Calibrating. Do not remove. Remove filament to finish. So pull it back out. It sees the filament left. There we go. Happy printing. Continue. And there we go. Now we can just push the filament back in, and the sensor will take it and pull the filament in. And we'll pull back. Let's get this thing safely lined up back on the desk again. Move it back. Oops, I pulled it off the internet. Dadgummit, Dan. I swear. You're a dingbat. Thankfully, should be able to just plug it back in. Give it a few seconds and it should reconnect to the interwebs. But now it wants to know what filament it is. It's PLA. So let's turn this a little bit more. Move this guy back. Tip you guys up. And then it'll go and start oozing filament. Look at that. See it oozing there? You're selling the paint spray gun, so you have some extra cash for the large printer. Nice. All right, and you can see that the color change happened. Is the color correct? Well, I see black here, and it started orange here, so I would say yes. So there's our orange, there's our black. So we'll hit yes on the screen, and there it is. It's done. Now we're going to pull the SD or the USB out here, and we're going to plug it in, and we're going to print that little key tag. There we go. Plug that in. You can see right there the little original key tag. It's only a 9-minute 50-second or 15-second print. So let's close the door, wipe the booger, close the door, and then hit print. We'll tap print. Light lights up, letting you know that it's doing stuff, as in heating up right now. So it is heating up. Let me make sure I have the vent open. This is PLA, so I can leave the vent at the top open. And it is, so we're good. I'll show you guys the trick for pulling the side panels off with those plastic rivets. Once this is done printing, we'll do that. We'll pull the side panels off. It is calibrating the hot end. I'm going to need to lift the camera so you guys will be able to see inside, since I didn't order the cameras to go with them. So I'm going to get my camera lift here. Let's see, is that going to be pretty good? It probably would be, but we're going to put it on a box, lift you guys up, and bring you guys in here as best I can get you. Okay? How well is that? Ooh, that's not good enough. That's too much. For right now, pull you back so you can kind of see. There's a bar in the way. All right, it's conveniently in the way. I think right there will be okay, though. I think we'll be all right. Sorry if I made any of you sick, but right now it is just preheating the nozzle to, or actually cooling the nozzle to 150 so it can do the bed probing. The build plate is currently set to 60, and the chamber temp is dropping. It wants to drop the chamber temp down to 20C since this is PLA. And the chamber fans in the back are running. I don't know, you guys cannot see those, but the two chamber fans in the back are currently pushing out air to help try and bring down the chamber temp. It's 26C, it wants to be 20C. So there we go. Absorbing heat. So it is saying absorbing heat on the screen. I don't know if you guys can see that when I come down here. Probably not. No. But it is saying right here, absorbing heat, and it is doing a count. It's 49 seconds to go. So. Ta-da! All right. Get you in there nice and close. It's funny, all the reflections that are going on. Wonder if I kill this light. A little less reflection. You can still see me because of that light. So we'll just do that. I'll sit here like this, all nice and shiny, so you guys can see inside a little better. Michael Cassell, what's going on, good sir? Hope you're doing well. We're just waiting for the Core 1 to get heated to where it needs to be. And then it will start printing the first print. We're just doing that little Prusa, like the Prusa key tag, or what do they call it? Yeah, keychain. Yep. So we're just doing a little Prusa keychain key tag. Oh, I have to lift you guys up a little higher. Currently it's probing, and now it'll kind of do its thing. There we go. But anyway, so now that we're just kind of in a pause state, you know, what's new? How is everybody? Got yourself the, what is that, Gloofy, or the Gloofy 20-watt laser. Nice. That's awesome, good sir. How you liking it? I'm assuming you got a chance to use it already. You're probably impatient like the rest of us, so you've probably already played around with it a little bit. Haven't had a chance to set it up. Oh, man. Well, sorry, good sir. Hopefully you get a chance here soon. It is the weekend now, so maybe you get a little time to work on that, play around with it, have some fun with it. It is currently heating up to 230. So that's going to tell you that it is going to print fast because it's going to heat to 230 for PLA. Okay. So it's heating the nozzle to 230, and then here it goes. Look at that. She's a ripper, boys. She is a ripper. And let's see if I can go high and get you guys some first layer up above looking down action. There we go. That's not so bad. There it is. There you go. You guys kind of see it ripping away there. After this is done, while I'm waiting, let me see if I've got Prusa Slicer installed on here. And if I do, let's make sure we have a Core 1 profile set up while we're waiting. So, plus we're still going to have to do the firmware update. So I'll have to go grab the firmware. Let's see, what do I got in here? That's just the Lurge printer. Yes, my nephew's Lurge printer. Let's go in and add another one. So, I'm going to let that print, let you guys watch that while I do this stuff on the computer. This side's kind of boring, and at this point, most of us know how to add another printer to our slicer, so. Did it do the filament purge first? Yes. Up in the corner, up in the front right corner, it did a little filament purge. But there you go. There it is, ripping away, gang. Look at that thing go. All right, now let's go to Prusa Research. Core 1 with the high flow 4.0, as well as we'll do just a regular standard 4.0, just so they're both in there. And we'll click on filaments. And let's make sure we add all the filaments. And we'll click finish now. All right. Now we have our Core 1. And as for filament, this is Prusa PLA or Prusament PLA. And then as for the print, we'll do our 0.2 speed. Let's do the Core 1 high flow because that's what it says we had. or thinks we have, so we'll do that. That looks fast. Yeah, it is. It's a ripper, man. It really is. It's pretty quick, like machine. I'm going to get the Dapper Dan duck ready to rock and roll, but we're going to do the firmware update first. So I'm going to load a Dapper Dan duck into my slicer. 3D printing files, scroll down to the 3D duck. Dapper Dan duck. 3Ds, guys. All right, 3D duck. Dapper Dan duck. Load it up. And it's on there. And then now we'll go ahead and give it the old sliceroo. I'm gonna use the USB for this. I'm not gonna, like, even though it's on my network, I'm not gonna go through the setup process of adding it in. You guys can figure that part out. I'm just gonna use it as a, slice it and send it kind of a thing. But while I'm waiting, let me go to my web browser and type in prusa3d.com. Then I'm going to go to software, and on the right hand side where it says drivers and firmware, and then I'm going to click on the Core 1 and download the 6.3.3 firmware. We'll save that real quick. There we go. That is saved. When this is done printing here it's 45% done. So, but yeah, the machine is definitely a ripper. It's definitely worth, again, if you enjoy the Prusa ecosystem and you want a fast enclosed Prusa printer, this is definitely the way to go. If you're looking for a single color, or looking to get a single color printer to start, and then you can always add the MMU in after the fact. So you can always buy the printer first to get yourself started with it, and then buy an MMU later, the MMU3. Just got to figure out laser Gerbil and get some things to try it on. Yes, Michael Cassell, take a trip to a Hobby Lobby or a Michael's if you have one nearby, and pick up all sorts of different things. Michael's sells those slate tiles. Those are always a good one to kind of like get yourself started with, is like doing the slate. Like they've got like the wood ones too, so you can do like wood burning on stuff. That's what I do. I get those little plaques and do my daughter's volleyball team every year. So like every year we spend like $50 and we get those plaques, and then we do I do a volleyball with the girls' number, and then like the year, just a little something for them, nothing crazy. But look at this thing just ripping. Definitely worth it if this is what you're looking for. Again, because it's for a school, because Printed Solid is a stateside company that is owned by Prusa, and because we just get good support when we have problems, that is the main reason why I stick with the Prusa printers for the school. There are other options I could get, but when it comes right down to it, just ease of use and the whole ecosystem, and the biggest factor being open source. Like for me, we could have went Bamboo, got a bunch of Bamboo printers, set them up, and went. Because my staff are they teach 3D printing, but they're not big into 3D printing themselves. Getting into like multicolor and stuff like that is kind of a niche thing that they are not a part of, so they're not interested in it. Maybe down the road, that'll change, and I'll be able to convince them to look into needing an MMU3, and we can get some MMU3 kits for the Core 1s, and then having, that available so that the kids can do things like paint it on. How you're going to vent it too? Can't have a bunch of smoke in the shop. Nope, you'll have to find a way to punch a hole through the side and then just vent it out. Running out of room. Yeah, it's always a bad problem to have. But maybe down the road, we look at getting a couple of XLs. Maybe for like the high school, we get a couple of XLs, and then we can kind of cycle some of their 2.4 or their Mark IVs into the junior high and put some XLs in their place. That'd be kind of cool. So maybe down the road we'll get a couple of 5-tool XLs to put in there. It would be nice to get a. Honestly, I love this Core One. I'm not gonna lie. I don't have Prusa money personally, so will I ever have one myself? No, probably not. It would take someone gifting me one. So if anybody ever gifted me one, I would have one. But until then, this is the closest I will get, is being able to bring one home and play around with it over the summer, and then have to bring it back to work when school starts. So over the summer, if you see a Core One sitting here, you know why. Because it's summer and they're not doing STEMs, like the STEM summer camp. So the printer just sits otherwise, and we all know that idle printers are not happy printers. So, during summer, I might bring it home and play around with it, and then bring it back in the fall, and it'll be there for them, because I hate to see such fine pieces of equipment just sit idle. There we go. And then it drops out of sight. So let me jump back to here. Look at it dropping down in the background. Look at that. See, and the green is indicating the print is done. Let me turn the light back on. There we go. Look at that. There we go. All right. Let's move this back out of the way now. We'll just put this down right here. There we go. Let me pull this thing out so you guys can kind of see it. Look at the clearance. Look at this. You guys see this up here? Look at this. I have like a finger's width underneath the cabinet to open that door. But then, to show you all, see, it did do a purge line right up here in the corner. So we'll pull the purge line off. Ta-da! No more purge. I know Big Joe, you asked about it, so Big Bad Joe. And then, there we go. Got it to snap loose. And there it is. Let's see if we can get it to focus. Don't mind the cut in my hand there. There we go. There you go. And then first layer. First layer looking damn good. So there we go. If you got Prusa money, buy a Prusa. If you don't have Prusa money, get the Centauri Carbon. Or Flash Forge. You can get the Adventurer 5M. You get the 5M Pro. Adventurer 5M Pro. You get that one too. Get the enclosed printer. It's like $500. But again, bill volume is a little small. If you're looking for, this size bill volume, not a bad options. The Elegoo Centauri Carbon, its build volume is the same size as, there we go. Its build volume is the same size as the Bamboo Labs. The 256, 256, 256, 260, 2 something on Z. But there's that. Now I'm going to go ahead and hit the button, go back to home, and now I'm going to pull out the SD or the USB. I'm going to plug in said USB. Yeah, 256 cubed. And then with that plugged in, I'm going to go to my downloads folder, grab the Core One file, copy it, paste it onto the root of the Prusa USB, and then I'm going to eject the Prusa USB. And it disappears, so it's ejected. Take that back out. I know you guys heard the da-dong. Now we're going to come around behind the printer and flip the switch and power it off. You guys want me to zoom in on the screen while it's doing the update? You guys want to watch the update screen? We'll get it ready. But I'm sure you're going to want to watch it update. You guys like these things. You guys like to see processes and how they happen. So let's go back to there. And with the USB installed, there's the screen. You can see the USB is plugged into the screen. Let me brighten it back up a little bit here. Down Under Maker, you're back. Good to see you. Glad you're back. And there we go. All right. Let me go ahead and power it back up. We'll do the firmware update that needs to be done. Power it on. Loads the bootloader and says there's firmware. Do you wish to flash it? We click flash. Okay, well, we'll hit the button because the touchscreen part did not work there, but just click the little rotary button and we're good. 5 kilometers, 3 miles, run complete. Hell yeah, brother. I'm glad you getting yourself in shape there. Or keeping yourself in shape, I should say. I don't want to assume that you got out of shape and are now getting back into shape. I'll just assume you're keeping yourself in shape. I'll sit here and drink my Dr. Pepper while playing with my 3D printer. I will let stress be my exercise. I should have sliced the file and copied the Dapper Dan duck over too, huh? That would have made sense, right? But that's okay. We'll unplug it, plug it back in. We'll push the Dapper Dan duck over. We'll bring it back. We'll start the Dapper Dan duck. And then we'll let it print. That's about an hour. And we're at an hour, 19 minutes in so far. So is anybody streaming tonight, by the way? I was looking earlier to see if someone was streaming. I did not see anything. But if you look up here now, Prusa Core 1 6.3.3. So we are updated to the latest firmware now. The time is off for my area. So let's go into settings. And then let's twist the little dial here. Oh, wrong way. Language and time. There we go. I got my arm all up in your business, guys. Here, let me go down under it a little bit. Doink. There we go. All right. Now we need to go down to time zone offset, -5. There we go. And then because we're lazy here, we like our 12-hour cycles. There we go. 8:15 currently. But there we go. Go back. Go all the way up to the top. Go back again. And we're back at the home screen. That is way blown out. It's a little better. There we go. Okay. So there we go. That part is now done. You're old, fat, no worry. Well, I'm glad you're you're getting yourself in shape, man. No, I'm glad. All right. Now that we got all that done, let's pull the SD card out. Let's plug back in. Let's slice and send the Dapper Dan duck over to that. We'll get it fired up, get it printing, and we'll let it rip tater chip. All right. Export the Dapper Dan duck. There we go. It's done. Eject the USB. Pull out the USB. Plug the USB back in. I'm just going to jump back to this camera when I'm done and just let it print in the background while we hang out. I'm sure you guys will want to stick around for another hour and then see how it turned out, right? Okay. Plug that in. Give it a moment. Auto detects the Dapper Dan duck. Look at that dapper duck with his top hat. Print. Ensure that the top ventilation grill is open for proper airflow. And I did. We made sure it was open earlier. See, it tells you that you're printing in PLA. Make sure the vent is open. And we did. So now I'll come back here. How you doing? Good to see you. while it's printing, we could remove those bits of protective film. Oh, I dropped proper printing. Jesus, I can't even speak right now. I knocked over Mr. Proper Printing. There we go. Just push it back. He's kind of heavy-headed. All right. Let's see if I go up above. Love to stay. Gotta run. Big Bad Joe, you have fun, good sir. Thanks for popping in. Does anybody know, like I asked earlier, I'm just going to ask again, does anybody know of anyone who is streaming tonight so that, like, after this, we can go and say hello? I want to show you guys something with these lovely little plastic rivets when you're taking this plastic off here. Okay, let me see. Is there a plastic rivet? It's behind the camera. So let me go up a little more. Or down. There we go. Okay, with these little plastic rivets right here, when you're taking the plastics, the protectives off, you got to pick it loose in the corner and get it to start coming off. I'm going to teach you a little trick here. Okay? Once you start to get the corner loose and it starts to come up, which for a guy with very small or no nails, this part is a pain. But here we go. When you get it to start coming off and you get to these plastic rivets, it sounds funny, but pull backwards and lift over. As you pull and lift, in most cases, it'll pop right over. See? Pops right over. So while I'm waiting, I'm going to do that all the way around. You guys may be able to see it, you may not. I do notice that there are some plastic rivets that weren't put in. So I'll probably pull the package out and put those in, because there's like just enough to keep the top on. Like every other one is kind of missing going around. So, but there we go. Get that gorgeous top exposed. There you go. Stick you guys down in from the top. Okay, I'm going to work on removing at least this other side here. The one in the back I may not be able to get to. I split my nail. Huh. Split one of my nails, guys. I know. Weird thing to hear me say, right? I don't have very long nails. Like, if you guys ever look at my hands, like here's... I'll show you guys my nails. My wife gets freaked out by this. It's like the one thing about me she can't stand, and I don't know why I'm the way I am, but I don't like having nails. It's weird. And pull up and away and pop it over. There we go. There's the other one off. And let's see if we can get this back one to come off while we're waiting. There we go. Got him. Okay, there's one. There's two. Oops, I bumped you guys. Sorry. I bumped you guys. It's not really doing anything right now anyway. You all know that. You can see that. It's just leveling bed. Probing, leveling, all that fun jazz. Okay. But there we go. Let me get some of them rivets out and fill in the rest of the blanks real quick. So let me come back over here, find that little bag of rivets, and finish putting in the plastic rivets. So who is has my opinion of this? Let me go back to the large screen here, and let's go back to here, and let's go here so it'll track me again. Who of any of you were you on the fence about getting one and hearing my opinions and seeing what I did here or what we had going on? It helped sway anybody? Sway anybody? I'm just curious as to if anybody is considering it now after hearing my 2 cents on it. Like, I'm just interested in knowing who's like what information I share is useful to you guys, and if this was something you had considered and you kind of maybe held off because of you knowing I was supposed to be getting one, or if you were just on the fence and now that you see my experience with it, now you're like, you know, Dan had a pretty good run with it. I think I'm going to get one. I'm just curious. You know, I just wondering who I may have helped with my input or my experience. You know, just wondering. But there were 4 around the top that I did just put in. So if anybody's wondering, you may need to put like 4 of them in. The top panel doesn't seem to have them all in. The side panels, it appears as though the side panels do. Like these guys here on the sides and across here, they're all there. Around the back, any of the holes where one would go are there. And I believe, yeah, this side panel as well has them all in it. So the only place that was missing them was around the top. And that was on both of the printers that I got. The one that's at the school and the one that's here. They're both missing 4 of them. They put 4 in the top just to, I think, hold it down, because in case you wanted to like take it off for better venting or whatever the case may be. I don't exactly know. But tuck this back in here now. Put all this back in the box. Take these. I want to put this over here for the moment. Stuff all this back in the box. There. And then we're going to put this box now back in the box. And there we go. Now all the stuff, oh, I guess we can put the Prusament box back in the box as well. There. Everything is back in the box. We cleaned up our mess. You are definitely helping me with my decision if I had decided to go when I can afford one. Would be great go-to printer for prototyping. That's how I feel. And now that we're done, I'm going to eat a oh, I might. They're pretty stuck in. They're you guys want to watch me eat a sheet of gummy bears? Here you go. It's like a gummy bear fruit roll-up. There you go. There's my gummy bears. Ta-da! It's a stained glass gummy bear window. Look at the gorgeous gorgeous scenery. Oh, I caused my camera to go stupid. Hold on. There we go. Look at this stained glass gummy bear window. Haha. Prusa isn't typically or particularly accessible here due to its logistics and middleman markup. Yeah. Donor Maker, man, I'm so sorry. Like, you guys are getting so hosed down there. Like, always and everyone. It's not like any one company is treating you any better than the rest. Michael Cassell, no, they are not the sugar-free ones. I will not be having explosive issues later. Clayton, you wish you could afford it? Like I said, guys, at least you don't get tariffs. Yeah, very true. But like I said, guys, the reason this one is here is not because of me. I mean, it is here because of me, but it's not here for me directly. I just happen to be in a situation where I get to make some decisions, and I want to make good decisions. And like I said, since the Mark 3S Pluses, I ordered those originally for the school. The Mark 4s came out. We got the Mark 4s. I got a couple of Mark 4s. And then now the Core 1s. We skipped the Mark 4S and went straight to the Core 1 just because I wanted to get them in enclosed printers so that if they do start playing around with more, especially like if they want to play around with some TPU, it's nice to have an enclosed printer. But if they want to get into like the ASAs and the ABSs and things like that, I would rather they have an enclosed printer to try and do that than have nothing but print failures because they can't control the air temperature around them as well. Finally getting Prusa meters fulfilled by a local supplier, so Prusa Mint rewards don't have. Ah, nice. Part of anything to Hawaii. Yep. See, Clayton, you and Down Under Maker are both in like a shit situation where you're like legitimately you're on islands in the middle of water. Logistics and shipping suck. It just happens to be that Down Under Maker's island is much larger than yours. I mean, I know it's a country, but it's a big desert island. You know, I mean, what is it? 90% or 99% of Australia is uninhabited because of reasons of scary weather. And the fact that like everything wants to kill you there. Like all the spiders, all the bugs, all the snakes, everything in Australia wants to kill you. You have a good filament wise, top quality stuff for much cheaper than you guys. But just names you wouldn't know. Yeah. I'd get that. The Elegoo Carbon to get it here is like $600. Damn. You open your streams with kangaroos, koalas, snakes, spiders, blood, and death. Or Down Under Maker, do you guys call them drop bears down there? I heard the term drop bears, and I think I like that better than koala bears, drop bears. Because they drop out of the trees and attack. But yeah, man, I mean, are you talking about the Centauri Carbon? Like, okay, so yeah, you did say carbon. My bad. But you know, so the Centauri Carbon is like a 300, 329. Like I said, if you go stateside with Fabrico. So you just tell the tourist drop bears, but you guys still call them koalas then? I still like drop bears better. They're for trees, not aggression. Yeah. There you go. I finished my stained glass window. I'm sure if I would have followed the directions, I would have been able to eat part of my stained glass window periodically, but it's up, it's running, it's doing things. We're going to let it print a duck. It is 19% done with, it says 39 minutes remaining. So we probably got another 40-ish, 45 minutes. And then I'll wrap this thing up. We'll see if there's somebody else streaming and we can that I can redirect to. And if I can't redirect to someone, well, then I'll let you guys enjoy your evening, because in 45-ish minutes, it'll be 9:15 my time. I have to get up in the morning and get my oldest daughter, and we have to meet her dad. We have to meet her dad at her apartment because we have to get the last of her. She's got like three things left to get out of the apartment. So she and I have to meet her dad at the apartment at 8 o'clock tomorrow morning on a Saturday. Thanks, kid. I love you. Did I show you guys what 3D and T gave me at Midwest Rep Fest this last weekend? Did I show you guys the award that they gave me? Do you guys want to see the award? Well, thank you, Down Under Maker. Yeah, if you're streaming when I'm, if you're streaming after this, we'll definitely go over there then. But like I said, it's only going to be about another roughly, 45 minutes to an hour, and then I'll be done. And so if you're streaming in 45 minutes to an hour, we'll definitely raid over that way. Clayton says, yep. All right. Well, for those of you who didn't see, forewarning, if you have wee ones nearby, distract them. I'll give you a warning before I show this because it's definitely not for the little ones. And again, my channel's not marked for the little ones. So if there are little ones watching, you shouldn't be here. So. You got told that you're going to IKEA. Ah, yes. Well, get yourself some meatballs while you're there. But here we go. Ready? Here's the award. So 3D and T. So Dave and Terry gave me my Dickhead of the Year award. Look at that. Isn't that cute? So I thought that was very sweet of them to give me an award to notice me. So I keep it just off camera over here to the side so that I can always remember that at least someone thought I was award worthy. Yes, dickhead. Yep, that's me. But I do honestly, by the way, guys, I know on last night's stream I asked about what you guys were thinking. So I did reprint all the Minimame parts. So while we're waiting for that, I'll talk about the Minimames again. I did reprint them all in the PETG carbon fiber, the Lancer that comes with the Magneto. I printed all these on the Magneto in that filament. And I actually have a project I'm going to slice off, and I'm going to run it on the Core 1. But I am thinking that I'm going to reprint the parts again on the Core 1. Nothing against the Magneto, but it wants to print fast. And some of the stuff, you kind of want to slow it down a little bit. So, but they turned out good. They turned out good enough that I would assemble them if I could get them to stop falling apart. Let's get all these things together again real quick here. There we go. Hey, I actually, without paying attention, put it together the right way. But here you go. So you can see the finished quality, not the greatest, but good enough for headphones, for ear caps. And then I also did print the open ones too. Hi, honey. You can come in. I'm streaming though, so depending on.
Cleaned your office.
Yes, I told you last night I was cleaning my office when you were talking.
So I sent Jack on with the Jetta.
Okay.
If you need it tomorrow, you can just try to slide out there and pick it up.
It's fine. I won't need it because.
Comes home tonight. And Avery, I turned on Lion Guard for her to watch.
Okay.
Series
yeah, it's the Lion King Lion Guard series. Like, yeah.
And I'm gonna take our babies
And go to bed. Okay. Want me to scoot over? Let me pause the camera. So, or wait, I have it paused. It won't shift. I'll come over here and get a quick smooch. Hi. Mwah. You look beautiful.
Oh no, it doesn't.
Yes, you do.
No.
I guarantee you, if you put your like weird thing aside and come over here, I will. Is it raining? It's about to though. This is gonna rain tonight into tomorrow. So I brought him in last night. I every night I turn on like Judge Judy or something like that, so he's got background noise. I got him covered. Don't you worry.
David's ready for bed. TV on. Go upstairs. Bring the dog in. Turn his TV on.
Yeah. Mama, can I get one of those? Can I get one of those?
Do you not have one of those?
That's the schools. That's the Prusa Core 1. It's their enclosed Core XY printer that
Are you
Prusa.
shitting out money for this
I'm not.
from somewhere? 'Cause
No. I already told my stream that I want one, and I'm glad that I have the opportunity through the school to be able to play around with one.
All right.
So it may not go back to work on Monday right away, but as long as it's back before August, I'll be okay. So I might get to keep it through the month of July.
What are you drinking?
Dr.
Did
Pepper,
you use my change to get you a Dr. Pepper?
who was working at the gas station.
Oh,
Even if I did, how much did I pay? $1.05. And guess how much I paid for yours? Which means I paid $2.10. And how much is one of those without? $2.10. So I got 2 for the price of 1.
continuing on.
Yes.
I have everything taken care of. Just bring in my dog tonight. Turn on his TV.
I will.
Right?
I will.
And roll up your damn windows.
And I'll roll up your damn windows.
No, I wasn't driving. I put the windows down.
I left them down because it was hot. My plans were to come out here and stream, roll up the windows, let in the dog, put the garbage cans. No, I'm not doing that right now. It's not that. It's antsy pants when he's in here. Fine, let him in. No, go let him in. You said it, now go get him. Exactly why I also didn't want to let him in here right now, because our son has been stacking stuff in front of that door. You guys having fun enjoying the family conversation? See, Down Under Maker even agrees that I am punching way above my weight class with you. See, Down Under Maker knows you're beautiful. Come here, bud. Come here. Okay, let me close the door. Nope, Chewbacca, get in here. Come on, get in here. Okay, well, stay to the side. They can see your arm. They can see your arm. They can't see your arm now. Yes, he's all excited. That's fine. Here, get up here.
You cried because you heard mommy.
He ain't gonna do it till you go out, so he's gonna sit there and cuddle with you. You're getting all that dog hair in here after I just cleaned up so much. Lay down, big guy. Get out the garbage. Hey, there's no, that's Haribo's. I ate them already. It was a giant sheet of gummy bears because it was so hot.
Daddy's office.
Yes. Get out of my garbage, mister. Be
Stay
good
with
old
Dad.
man.
Stay.
Got the old man in here.
Stay.
Hey, look, wait, hold on. Miss MMM, why are you slumming it with this guy? Says Down Under Maker. He wants to know why you're slumming with me. Hey, did you see my dickhead award? Did I show you that?
Yes, you did.
Okay. Okay, I love you.
My dog.
He's right here. Okay, there we go. Yeah, she doesn't think she's slumming it with me, but everybody who knows us knows she's slumming it with a schmuck like me. Oh. Yeah, one Raz, we've been getting rain off and on. The Dapper Dan Duck is 37% done, half hour to go, so 31 minutes. Okay, 31 minutes to go. So in 31-ish minutes, it'll be done. I'll take it off and show you guys how good it looks. If you look at my X earlier, that was off of the other printer. So out of the box, these things, so far I'm 2 for 2 for good machines that are just working. So cannot complain. It's a sliced file that they sent and a sliced file that I sent, both the Dapper Dan Duck. Clayton says it's because I'm awesome. Well, thank you, Clayton. You're an awesome human being for being here. And Mrs. Maker is the same. Yeah. It's amazing that these gorgeous women wind up with idiots like us, isn't it? I don't know what the hell they're thinking. Could do way better than us, but yet they settle for us. I don't get that. It's something about as you get older, women realize that, you know, I guess the bad boy is kind of a dick and he's never going to grow up. So then they settle for this. Whatever. I'll take it. It's a punishment. I will just suffer. Now you feel called out. Oh, Havoc, you're a beautiful man. Actually, Kegel, my wife says the same thing. My wife is she always talks about how she doesn't know how a guy like me could want to be with a girl like her, and I'm like, I'm not like top picks here, baby. Sorry, you know. And on top of that, you're smoking hot. So I'll deal with some personalities if it means that I get to have some smoking hot piece of arm candy hanging out with this face, you know. Who is calling me this late at night? My wife. Yes, dear.
Are you hooked to both AC units?
Am I what? Yeah, why?
Are you
What's up?
connect?
Yeah.
Can you turn the one in Jaden's room on?
Yeah. The cat's jumped up on it again. Dicks.
Yeah.
Yeah, I'll turn it on.
All right, thank you.
Okay.
Love you. Bye.
Love you, bye. Yes, it's the hotness versus crazy index. You are correct. It I had to find a blind girl who thought I was cute. My wife has -10 glasses. Oh, that's all right, Michael Cassell. She still thinks you're gorgeous. That's all that matters. And I've seen your face, so I know you're a handsome devil. I already know. I've seen that beautiful mug of yours. There we go. Click on Bear's Room. It says it's online, but it's off. Turn the power on. There we go. All right. The joys of having Wi-Fi connectivity to your little, I would say mini splits, but they're not. They're little like floor window AC units for my upstairs. Our upstairs, we have like, it was out here in the garage for a while. It has like a tube goes up and goes out the door, or goes out and pushes outside. But yeah. Your missus has a -9.8, huh? Well, my wife does have glasses, but hers are not. Yeah, hers are for astigma. So. But she doesn't really wear her glasses. The dogs ate them and she never got new ones. And I yell at her all the time when she complains about getting headaches. I say, get your glasses. Get your glasses. And she never does. We're going to go this way and we're going to go this way. That's too much. You got to go up more and go over more. And then we're going to go in again. Go over this way. Look at that duck. Look at that gorgeous duck. Because every time I tried to set it up on her phone, she doesn't know how to use it. So I'm the IT guy. I'm the tech guy. I am the everything. So enhance. What I need to do is I need to set a preset. So like right now where that's at, I could go into the OBS app or the OBSBot app, which I don't have running at the moment, but I could go in and create a preset and then it would automatically boop, boop, jump there and zoom right in. But since none of my printers are all the same like this, it's not going to be ideal, but it works. I just manually move it. I'll keep me right here in the corner. And there's that Mark III. Maybe I'll get that hot end cleaned out and get it working, and then I can get that back to work. I think that Mark III is probably going to reside in my office and be the backup printer. I'll just have it in my office to play around with and do things with, and then when they need it, because one of the other printers dies, I can just throw that in its place and then take the other printer out. What I want to do is, since we have the two Mark IIIs Pluses, is I want to get the Mark IV or Mark IVs upgrades for them, and then just upgrade them both to Mark IVs. That'll make for some content. And do like a marathon stream one weekend, just bring them both home and just tear one down, rebuild it, and build it back up. If I'm going to do that, what I should do is, since I have this, is get me some PETG or take some of my ASA that I have and print the parts in ASA. Because I've got some ASA, baby. We print one in green and one in... I got green, I got purple, I got that titanium anno, but everybody's telling me stay away from that for structural stuff. They're saying it's not good for structural. Kind of want to test it just to see. But I've got some ambrosia. I got a whole roll of the planetary blue. So I could do a planetary blue ASA and then do another one in like Polymaker's Galaxy Green. I think I got a whole roll or almost a full roll of Galaxy Green, so I could do one in green and one in blue. Clayton, you need to get a 3D printer. Brother, do the thing. Do the thing. Hit up Facebook Marketplace. I know the islands are a little harder to get stuff, but hit up the Marketplace and just post. If you have an old 3D printer laying around collecting dust and you don't know what to do with it, I'd be more than happy to take it off your hands and then just get the printer for, like take a quick drive across the island and pick it up. And then, work on it. Rebuild it, man. Make it into something good. Can't get ASA to print worth a dang. Really, Zyber? Really, really? I'm going to throw some ASA in this thing before I send it back. Yeah, we're going to throw some ASA in there and print some ASA. What I would love, okay, this is my wish list. I need some of the standard black, white, gray, ASA, PLA, PETG. And then I would like to get some just other random colors. I don't even necessarily need the crazy like gradients, tri-color or tri-extrusions and stuff like that. I would like to replenish my stockpile. I was supposed to bring a bunch of filament for the filament exchange, and in my hurry to get out the door, I forgot to grab a bunch of kind of some older materials that I have sitting up there collecting dust to try and clear some space so that I could make room for new. I've got some old ABS that's just been sitting out open air, so it would probably need to be dried for like a day and a half. What's the matter, bud? Juby, hey, come back here. Let the internet see you. Come here. Come here. Come on. No, you're being stubborn, old man. You just want me to pet you. You're just being stubborn. You need more LDO, dark teal, and purple for your inertia cube. Yeah, buddy. Yes, you do. If that's the scheme you're going for, do it. Everyone here wants full price for all the mechanics. It's crazy, man, brother. If I lived on the island, I would do my damnedest to try and help you out. But for like you said, man, for me to ship you something would be insane. I mean, it would probably cost $200-$300 just to send something to the islands. And I don't even know what I would send you. I wish I lived closer to the coastline. That'd make it a little bit easier to get something out there. You know what I mean? Sent your results via Discord. The blob is what happens with the temp tower. You got to remember, Zyber, just you probably know this, and I'm probably just saying it to say it, but make sure you double check your Z height or your offsets and stuff too. But let me go jump in Discord real quick here and take a look and see what you got going on. Okay, that is material that looks like it probably needs to be dried. Yeah, ASA is very ABS-like in the way that it prints, so you can get away with printing open air, but you might have to do some tweaking and tuning. That blob is not good. What machine are you printing that on? Oh, ABS. Yeah, ABS, you probably got to dry the shit out of it. 8 hours in the dryer? Try another 8 hours. It sounds silly, but try another 8 hours. And then, depending on the machine, the speed, try printing it like 260, like 250, 260. Start a little, maybe even 240. Start a little on the cooler side. And just try some basic prints, see what happens. It does look like you're having some extrusion issues. Maybe check your, if you're running Orca Slicer, run the calibrations for flow rate. Run your flow rate calibration just to see. Ladybug, hey, you missed it. I showed off my award again. Ladybug, look, look. Core 1. It's a Core 1. Try it on the 2.4 KP3S and your custom thing all enclosed. All right. Yeah, Zyber, I would say maybe try printing a little bit cooler, especially on like the KP3S. The Voron, you should be able to bump that up a little bit, go like 250, 260 and go a little faster. But on the KP3S, I would say maybe bring it down a little bit more. But even still, try 240. And I would definitely maybe even run a temp tower starting at like 2, like, you know, two. I wouldn't go any lower than say 220. Just that's going to be really low. I would say probably 235, 230, 235, maybe like the lowest temp you would want to be at, and then stop at like 260 and just run another temp tower. And then make sure your first layer is hitting good. Go colder, yeah. Because with it blobbing like that, it looks like it's coming out. And with the print quality, it kind of like, you okay with me showing the pictures? It's your stuff, man. You know, I like to try and ask before I show. It's your stuff. Tin Talent. I did not buy 2 Core 1s. The school that I work for bought 2 Core 1s for the STEM class, or STEM classes. So the school that I work for bought them. I may leave this one here for the month of July, you know, and then take it back in August, start of the school year, you know, have it back before the start of the school year, put some time on this one. I've got the other one in my office, so I'll play around with that one at work and have this one here to play around with. And then, like I said, take it back. You know, we get some time on it. I hate to see a beautiful machine like this just sitting. You got 3 rolls of ASA that would be great from photos. Oh, okay. Here we go. So here's what he's getting so far, guys. And looking at it, it definitely looks like I would want to check. I mean, the way this top layer is like rolling off, it kind of looks like it's still running too hot and not cooling enough. You're not getting, oddly enough, doesn't look like you're getting enough cooling. Because I know they say run it with no fan or like low fan. Maybe you run a low fan, or maybe run it a little bit cooler and see what happens. I don't know what anybody else thinks, but in my opinion, like looking at this, the way it's all just like molten goo here when it's supposed to be a temp tower, yeah. Tin Talon, yes. I as the tech guy and the 3D printing expert in the building, that's what I'm doing. Digital Dragon, this is ABS. This is ABS, and I don't remember what, yeah, but it does, like Tin Talon is saying, like I'm thinking, it looks like it's printing too hot. This is supposed to be a temp tower, and it just looks like it's too much heat and maybe a flow rate calibration. So, and this is a part that actually kind of successfully printed, but you can see there's like a lot going on. So oh, this is ASA. Okay. Sorry. Zybertech says this is, Zybertech is saying this is ASA. Okay. So yeah, this is ASA. I'm thinking too hot and probably adjust flow rate. So run a flow rate calibration, but run a temp tower about 10 or 20 degrees cooler than what you were running it for temps. Needs to be dried as well. Yeah, he says he already dried it for 8 hours. I said probably wouldn't hurt to throw it in for another 8 hours. Sometimes if your dryers can only hit like 50, you might have to run them for like 16 to 24 to 36 to 48 hours to get enough of the moisture out of them, because 50C may not be enough. That's why some of the dryers that are coming out now. Digital Dragon, he said that this is the results he's getting on a Voron 2.4, a KP3S, and a custom enclosed printer that he has been working on. What's your outer shell speed? Very true. Can always speed up your outer shells if you're printing hot, or you know, there's always ways. Digital Dragon is a good resource for this. Digital Dragon has some amazing prints and has tuned many printers way better than I ever could. So let me jump out of here real quick. Let's go back here. It is Polymaker ASA. Oh, sent the ABS results. Okay. Yeah, your ABS is looking a little moist. Right screen. There we go. You guys can kind of see it there. ABS is looking good, but moist. Like these layers here are not looking terrible across the top. It could just be the way the photo is, but the surface finish on the side here does look a little rough, but this isn't looking terrible. This is looking much better than the ASA. Needs to slow it down and allow the part cooling to do its thing. Definitely the camera on that one. Okay. So yeah, because I'm going to say like through here, it looks like it's got a little bit of inconsistency, but we all know how the camera responds to layers. Oddly enough, your eyeball doesn't see the layer as well as a camera does. This Dapper Dan duck is looking amazing. We've got about 12 minutes left. Anybody streaming on the YouTubes here in a little bit, let me know. And when I'm done, we'll jump over to your stream. I'll route it to you. But Jeremy and Keela are not streaming until tomorrow. Tomorrow morning. Terry and Dave are streaming, but later tonight, I believe, right? Ladybug, you still floating around? You guys are streaming later, right? I'll jump back here. Pop out of there. But yeah, no, so the ABS results look good. The ASA definitely looks like it could use some drying. So dry the ASA some more, longer, kind of go from there. The new Super Slicer Beta has a bunch of new calibration tools. I'll have to take a look at that. I switched to Orca Slicer and I just don't really look back. I have Prusa Slicer obviously installed because of, well, Prusa's come in here, so it's just easier to use their slicer with their profiles and their ecosystem, Slower and cooler. Yeah, don't go crazy. Like I said, if you start your temp tower, kind of go from there. Late night Saturday starting at 11:59. Okay, so it's Saturday night. Sorry, dear. My bad. I always forgot you guys start Saturday night and roll it in. And drier. Yes. So slower, cooler, drier. Give those things a shot. Cross your fingers. The ASA, when I print, I usually run, when I run the ASA on the switch wire, I believe I have it set to 250 and then 105 on the bed, or 100 on the bed. On the switch wire, I run 100 on the bed because to get to 105, it struggles. Well, where is your wife? She is in bed with the puppies. I am out here with the big dog. He is laying on the concrete, cool as a button right now because I got the AC out here now. So he's laying on the concrete, cooling himself off, just relaxing. He's an old man. But yeah, she was out here for a minute, but she wasn't on stream. She doesn't really like to get on camera. I wish she would more. I did tell her that her presence has been requested at Murph next year by Miss Terry and by Miss Keela and by Miss Melissa. I did tell her that the ladies, the wives of us nerds, really would like to, have more wife time. So I did tell her that she is requested for next year. And I did tell her that I'd like it to be a 3-day weekend for us at least. Possibly a 4-day weekend, or at least a 4-night, 3-day kind of a thing. Oh, that's pretty cool. I'll have to check it out when I get the opportunity. I'll have to check it out. It's not to say I would never go back to Super Slicer, because I started converting all of my profiles and stuff to Super Slicer. I was originally, obviously, like most, Cura. Then got the Mini and switched to Prusa Slicer. Kept getting nagged by old curmudgeon to check out Super Slicer. So then I checked out Super Slicer. Converted all my profiles in Prusa Slicer over to, Super Slicer, which didn't take much. And then went from Super Slicer to Orca Slicer and just kind of stayed on Orca Slicer. But if big changes are coming to Super Slicer, then I'll definitely want to check it out. It'll be fun. The Dapper Dan Duck is 82% done, 8 minutes left. The top of the head and the hat are starting the hat now. So all that's left is to put the hat on him. But yeah. Oh, that'll be cool. If you'll be able to go ahead and pull all the Orca Slicer profiles and stuff that I have and pull those back into Super Slicer, that'll make my life a whole lot easier too. And then it'll just be a matter of getting used to Super Slicer again. It's nice to see that the team is kind of evolving there, because there was a bit of time where it didn't seem like they were interested in evolving. Not saying that they weren't going to, just didn't seem like they were progressing. And it's probably because there was a lot of back end stuff going on that they didn't talk about. All right, let's see here. Whilst I'm waiting, I'm gonna chat with you guys and go find my lab rack. My lab racks. There it is. Lab racks, 1U server. Let's do the horizontal edge vented. And then let's auto rotate. Here, I'll show you guys what I'm working on. Lab Racks is a 3D printable 10U or 10-inch rack. It's a 5U system. Nothing against the one that Mandic really designed. I just like the overall design of this one more. So that's why I kind of decided to go this route. Again, no slap in the face of Mandic really, and the one that he did, Alan did an amazing job. But I just like this one. If you've never seen it, here, let's do this. It's on Maker World. So if you don't like Maker World, sorry, but that's where it's at. Click here. Let's type in lab racks. 10-inch server rack. 5U. This is what it looks like. And to me, necessary only. There we go. I just like the overall look of this one. And it uses M6 heat inserts and M6 button head screws to kind of build everything out. Obviously, it uses, they've got 10U like little switch in here. This one has one of the little like mini PCs or whatever you call them. And then a bunch of Raspberry Pis, which you guys know me, I have a bunch of Raspberry Pi and Libre computers. So that'd be kind of cool to build one of these out and put, some of them up in here and have them set up for different random stuff. Be kind of cool. And then you can get, in this case, I would talk to Happy once I'm done and I have the dimensions. I'd talk to Happy and see if he could get me some acrylic panels or get me some polycarbonate panels to put on this thing. You can put a fan up here if you wanted to, or just do like a solid panel. Do networking and home lab setups. Well, this would be a good way to start, man. Print a rack. Like here's two different versions of it. So I'm printing just the vented top that doesn't have the lab racks logo because I don't have an MMU to do the color swap to fill in the lab racks like this. I could do the lab racks and then just paint, because it looks like this part's actually painted in the way there's some imperfection in it. So I could realistically just print this and then paint in the lab racks. But I just like, this one's got the printed panels in it. So you can see where like this panel up here is printed. This one is the acrylic, cut acrylic. And then there's printed side panels that you can just slide in there. And as you can see, you've got 4 verticals, and then you've got 4 for your horizontals on the sides. And then for the front, you've got like this vented one here, and then you can do the vented one in the back as well. And then underneath, you can do the solids, or you can even do the vented ones down below as well, and then allow air to be pulled up from the bottom. So it is pretty cool. And I have been wanting to print and build this for some time now. The things I need to acquire or get are down here. I need to get the M6x10 button head screws. 16 are required for the frame and additional for the rack by here. And then the M6 brass inserts. I need the 8mm OD with a 4mm in length, and it says to buy here. I believe it's an AliExpress link, so it's something I have to buy on Ali. But I'll see if I can find them somewhere closer. But then here's the video on building and configuring. Give me just a second. I'm going to click on this. I'm going to try and mute it real quick so that it doesn't play over. There we go. I'm going to copy this link and paste it. If anybody's interested, copy, Control V, paste. There's the link to the lab racks that Michael, it's Michael Clements. I am subscribed on the main MakerMind Nexus channel. This is the, MMN Dan channel. Doesn't exist, so don't think I'm using it. But I'm going to give him another sub with this account too. But if you guys go over there, if you guys aren't subbed to his channel, if you want to give him a sub and you want to tell him, hey, MakerMind Nexus sent me over, that'd be cool. Let him know that, me talking about him is sending people his way, because he's got 103,000 subscribers. I don't have 103,000 subscribers. I'll probably never see 100,000. And if I do, I'll get a plaque and then I'll put it up on the back wall and I'll say thank you to all of you. But see, Jeff Geerling posted, says, looks beautiful. One question, when will you design my dream 1U mini rack UPS? Here's my comment to him 2 months ago. Look at this. 2 months ago, I commented on here saying, I have seen some other ones out there, but I love the simplicity and overall design. I've been looking for one to print and think I found it. Thank you for putting this out into the world. Hope to build one soon. To which he responded with, let me know how your build goes. And then I said, will do. I'm sure I'll be playing around with it on stream when I get a better printer to print the parts, which conveniently I have a couple of Core 1s at my disposal and I can rotate the parts now to make them fit. So the only hang up now is going to be getting the M6x10 bolts, button head bolt or button head screws, and the M6 brass inserts, the 8mm OD with the 4mm length. Getting those, I could probably do, if I can't find 4mm, you can probably do 6mm and just have the brass insert sticking out the back a little bit. Not ideal because you want it usually embedded into the plastic all the way through. AliExpress is your friend for those. Yeah, and that's kind of what I'm thinking, is I'm gonna have to order it off of Ali. But this is not slapping, like I said, it's not slapping Alan Mandic in the face at all. And don't read into that with any bullshit innuendo. Like I'm saying, like, his design is awesome. I like the simplicity of his as well, but the overall look of this thing, like if you go into the video, I'm not going to stream the video because I don't want to necessarily get dinged. So let me pause this so I don't get dinged. But I want to find, like, here. Let me like, here's where he shows that he's got inserts. Let me turn off closed captioning real quick. The duck is done. But, like right here, dismiss. You can see here's the 5U model. So you've got 1, 2, 3, 4. Well, there's actually, technically, there's 5 U's here. There's this 1, 2, 3, 4. And then this here is actually a vent with a single row of Keystone Jack RJ45s. You just print the plate. It takes up like half a U. And then the other half a U is just a vented slot for airflow. And then here's another, hexagonal airflow, little TP link, 5-port switch. And then this one here, he just did a bunch of RGB, you know, looks like 12-volt fans, maybe 5-volt, who knows. Probably 5-volt so that he can run it off a USB power of some sort. And then like this one's got the little micro PC right here, it looks like. But that's the he did PETG CF or HF high flow. I'm trying to find where he shows where he made some extensions too, so that you could make a taller unit. There we go. And then here's the extension you can add on. So you have your standard 5U here, and then there's an additional 3Us to make it an 8U. So you can make it taller. And then there's a couple little pieces where you, when you put it together, where you can kind of connect it and make it taller. You can see them in the back here on the sides. There's some little plastic bits that you put in with some screws to hold it and then make it a 10U rack. He even designed it so that you can put handles on here. The cool part is where the handles mount here, when you print these parts for the bottom, that's where you would put your feet. So you can mount, you can get some like rubber feet or print some TPU feet to stick underneath it and then screw them directly into the bottom down here in these little spots. But I do have a small little, I don't think it's an 8U or 8-port older, it's either 4-port or an 8-port older switch that I was thinking would fit perfectly inside of here. So I would put a little switch in there, and then realistically, the one thing I would probably do a little different is if you're going to do patch panels on the front like this, if you're going to do some kind of a patch panel, instead of mounting my switch this way, so you have the wires come out of here, and then would have to kind of cycle back around and up into all of these here. And since you already have all these on the front as well, would you really need all that unless you were, you know, if you're mounting it as a permanent, a semi-permanent thing, then it would make sense to have all those lines come in and connect here, and then you can connect from here down into these things. And then if you needed to, you could always connect into your switch for additional connectivity. But realistically, flip your switch around backwards, mount your pies around backwards, or just mount it in the front and not put a patch panel in if it's not necessary. Save yourself a open port. Just me. But I think I like the overall design of the lab rack system that Michael came up with. To me, it's more appealing on the eye. So that's why I want to build that one. I still want to support Alan Mandick. I still think that he's got an awesome thing going there. So if you want to go buy the files and build his, please do. Even if you don't, go. Like, join his channel, join his Patreon, join something. Support Mr. Mandick, really. He's a great guy. But that being said, let's look at the duck. And the true test of every Dapper Dan duck is, do the little legs pop down? And they do. However, oh, there we go. I had it twisted. Don't get it twisted, yo. There we go. See, little wiggly legs. And there's the ducky. And it is black. I know black is usually a pain in the ass to see. I just kind of threw the duck. Poor guy. But here you go. I'm going to kick the legs down. I'm going to hide my hand here so you guys can kind of see this better. Yes, you can see the layer. You know, see where the layer line is. But, you know, all in all, there's the overhang under the beak. Looks good. So again, another good duck. I would say that's a good duck. That's one good duck. All right, I'm done making duck chokes. All right, gang. I'm going to slice up the next lab racks part here. I'm going to send this to the USB because I'm going to need to print 4 of these because I'm going to print the vented one all the way around. Now I'm going to do the solids on, I don't know, should I do the solid? I'm going to do the vented on the bottom too. I'm going to do vented all around, just kind of help allow some airflow through. If I find that I have a problem, I'll just print solids. Clayton, thank you, good sir. Don't forget, if you guys want to get yourself a Dapper Dan duck, go to thangs.com, search Built Over Bot, go join his monthly membership. I think it's like $5. And then you get access to his whole catalog. Him and his wife have a lot of files, a lot. But you can go there and search for Built Overbought Dapper Dan Duck. And then spend, I believe, $5 for 1 month even. Just 1 month. Get yourself access to the file that, get to the Dapper Dan Duck. Don't forget to get the Tech Jeeper Princess Duck or Tiara Duck. Because Tech Jeeper hit him up about putting a tiara on one of the ducks. So they have the Dapper Dan Duck that has the top hat. And then you can get the Tech Jeeper Duck that has the tiara on it. So then you can have the Dapper Duck with his top hat and the pretty little female duck with her little tiara. And there you go. You'd have a nice little set. You can make yourself a little wedding topper with flexi leg ducks, Dapper Dan Duck with his top hat, and then, the Tech Jeeper Duck with her tiara, and put them right on top of your cake. Look at that. I'm giving you guys ideas for wedding toppers. If you're not married and you want to get married, myself and Tech Jeeper would be more than happy to accompany you to your wedding, or at least to the cake afterwards. Even if we're not going to be there, we'll be there in spirit. Let me back up. Ta-da. All right. I'm going to print this file twice, and then I'm going to print the solids. I'm going to do 2 solids on the bottom. I'm going to do the 2 vented ones on top. So I'm going to print this file twice. Let's see what kind of printer settings we've got going on here. I'm going to get this one started, and then I'm going to wrap this thing up. Let's go to, don't need to worry about skirt and brim. We need to worry about layers. We've got perimeters. I am a firm believer in 5, 5, and 5 when it comes to something semi-structural. You don't have to be, and that is fine. And then as for infill, what do we got for infill? We shouldn't need much for this, but I am going to take it to 25 too, because again, this is a semi-structural part. It is going to be holding or housing some equipment. So I'm going to do 5, 5, and 5 with 25% infill. Shouldn't be a major requirement. With the way that is designed and the way it is overhanging, I should not need support. But with them holes, maybe we'll want some support for the screw holes, but those are going to be heat inserts or screws passing through, so we can run a drill through it if it gets a little wonky. So that's what I'm going to do. We're just going to slice it and send it. See what happens. All right. Slicing finished. It fits within the build volume and it's not freaking out. So there we go. We're going to go ahead and pull the USB, and we're going to send these. I already got the 4 horizontal side pieces printing at work. Like I said, they're probably done by now. So I'll grab those on Monday and bring them home. I'll get this one printing. I'll print another one of these. Then I'll slice 2 of the solids for the bottom. And then we'll have the 2 solids for the bottom, 2 solids for the top. The only thing that'll be left to do is the uprights, which are going to take, I think last time I looked, it'll print them. It wants to print them standing up so that your layer lines go up. I may try to lay them on one side and print them on one side. We'll see how it looks. But let's pull the USB out, plug the USB back in, and then let's go ahead and send it. 2.5 hours, 1 hour, 49 minutes, it says. So if we did it in stealth mode, it would be 2 hours and 31 minutes. But in normal speed, it'll print at 1 hour and 49 minutes. There we go. Eject it out. All right. And safely unmounted, unplugged, plug it in, and we're going to send it. Print. All right. It's going to print. So we're going to let it run. We're going to let it print. We're going to let it do its thing. So depending on how this weekend goes, I might try to squeeze a few little streams in there. But if not, just know that in 2.5 hours or 1.5 hours, 2 hours, whatever it is, this old man's probably going to be sleeping because I got stuff to do. But in the morning, before I leave the house, I'll probably come out here and record a quick little clip to throw up as a YouTube short. Just showing how the first one did. And if it works great, we'll snap that one off, start the second one, so that by the time I'm done doing my running tomorrow, I'll have at least the 2 top the two top ones done with the vents. So it'll be vented on the top. And then I will slice and do the two bottom ones. And then the only other thing that'll be left is to do the uprights. And hopefully, if all goes well, by the end of the day tomorrow, I should have all four of my horizontal front, or my horizontal face pieces, I guess you would call them. I'll have those four horizontal face pieces done hopefully by the end of the day tomorrow. And then I'll have all day, or tomorrow night into Sunday to finish the four horizontals, or the four verticals that I need. And then I should have all the pieces. And then it's just a matter of M6 heat inserts and the M6 button head screws. And then we do an assembly video, which, like I said, might be my maker, or my members only stream. We might build the lab racks kit. I kind of think I want to slice one with the lab racks on it, even though I don't have a 2-color printer. I kind of think I want to put the lab racks on the front. So I might print this one and then slice the lab racks one before I go in. So I'll end this, slice that, have it ready to go, and then I can throw it on the USB in the morning after I take that one off. That can be my top rear, and then do another one for the top front with the lab rack. I'm going to do the lab racks one, guys, because if I hand paint it, or, you know, whatever, just to have the lab racks on there. Yeah, it just seems right. It just seems right to do that. So what might look sweet in printing your own M3 thumb screws? Print my own M3 screws in a contrasting color. Yeah. I mean, I don't know about printing M3 screws. Depending on the material I use, I guess it would be maybe durable enough to hold that. But yeah, if nothing else, just do like an M3 or M6 like cap, and instead of doing like a was it M6 by 10s, right? So instead of doing like an M6 by 10, maybe do an M6 by 12, and then make it like a 2 mil, like a 2 mil plate to like drop the screw down into, a little dab of glue or something, and maybe even do just like a little thumb screw with them, like little caps to go over for like a thumb screw. Fusion has a tool for doing threads. Yeah, down under Maker, I'm not a Fusion guy. I do know that he did say that he was talking about doing a variant of the lab racks kit that would allow you to get away with, instead of using like an M6 screw, you could use Freedom units. I forget what size screw it was, but if you watch that video, he talks about in there where realistically, instead of using an M6, you could get away with using a screw and just threading directly into the plastic. So I don't necessarily need the M6s. I would just have to find the screw size that would fit in the hole, and it basically cut its own thread as you screw it in. Yes. Yeah, Fusion is free-ish. Teacher, not directly. Indirectly a teacher. I'm just the tech guy, and I'm also the 3D printing expert in my school, which is weird to say that I'm the guy they go to about 3D printing questions. But yet here I sit in the evening streaming, talking about 3D printers, 3D printing, and rebuilding 3D printers to give away to those less fortunate. So. But gang, I do thank you for coming and hanging out. We are now at 2.5 hours of stream tonight. We are at 9:30 my time. That being said, I'm going to go ahead and wrap this thing up. But before I do, let me minimize my slicer here real quick. Let's, one more time, I'm going to go ahead and copy the Maker World link too, if anybody's interested. And if you didn't click it earlier, but if you are interested, boom, Control V. There's the link. Oh, it's telling me that was an error. Why would it tell me that I got an error posting to my own stream? There we go. It errored the first time, but it sent the second time. So there you go. There's the link to the lab racks kit. Like I said, I'm thinking it'd be kind of fun thing to have to take with me to events and stuff. I can load stuff on it and go. You know, maybe set up a Pi to be like a little router, have it connect to another Pi, have that Pi connected to be my Wi-Fi, and then have like a Wi-Fi hotspot running off of it, or whatever. Whatever. I can use one Pi to be the router with the Wi-Fi on it, not being the greatest, but we could always add to it. And just thoughts. I mean, once you have it, like you can do whatever you want. And if you need more space, well, you just print the extension and make it bigger. Yeah. All right, gang. Love y'all. Say outro. Say Jill. Wait a minute. Let's see if anybody's streaming. Let's see who's streaming. You guys like how I was about to end it? You were all getting ready to click away. Is there anyone streaming tonight that I can jump over to? You can CAD with Chris if you want. I don't know if he's got it set up to allow me to jump over to him. A couple of storm chasers are out right now chasing storms across North Dakota. A couple storm chasers that I follow. Let's see here. Friday morning chill and projects in Dad's garage. That was this morning. I'm not seeing anybody currently streaming. Does anybody have someone that's streaming right now? I'll have to take a look into that a little bit more. But yeah, I'm not really seeing anybody who's got a stream going. Like I said, there's Chris. Chris is the only one. I don't know that we can jump over to his channel, but let's just see real quick if it'll let me. If it is, you can go watch Chris do some CAD work. So let me go to customize, scroll down, add redirect. Hang tight, guys. Yeah, he does not have redirecting privileges enabled, so I cannot jump over there. Otherwise, I would have. But that being said, then, let's just go ahead and wrap this thing up. You guys have fun. Satchel, Jail, happy 3D printing and all those things. And don't forget, an old printer is better than no printer. And sometimes unboxing a new printer and getting a chance to play around with it for a little bit can be fun if you get the opportunity. Please do. Bye, guys. I'm going to go bring Doggo in, roll up some windows, and go to bed. It's 9:30. I'm old. IKEA meatballs beckoning. Yes, enjoy. All right, guys. Have a good night.